All right. Welcome back. Need to fix my hair. Okay. Welcome back to part 3 of our LLM benchmarking tests for the real world. So far, we've done 2, right? The first one was our CRM management test. So what we did was we gave the LLM the ability to look at our HubSpot and help us clean up deals, add in information. We've also did schedule management for that one, Claude 4.5 Opus and Gemini 3 Pro and GPT-5 Mini 1. And what we're going to do now is we're going to do a person enrichment test. So I've got my prompt already up to date, but basically what I have is I'm going to give it my email address. So I'm giving it my email address. I'm giving it, and from that, it has to find my LinkedIn URL, my Twitter URL, my Instagram URL. And so finding a LinkedIn URL. So 1 point, give it my email, find my LinkedIn URL. Then it has to find the Instagram information. So it not only has to find my Instagram username, but it also has to find the subject of my latest post, it's from years ago. It's when I got engaged. I don't really use Instagram. Finding my Twitter information, or X, as the kids say. This is going to be a little bit harder because it's kind of hard to find. Like, I'm not really that present on X. I definitely tweet more than I post on Instagram, but it, for some reason, doesn't come up on Google that easily. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how many likes my latest post/tweet had, figure out where I went to college. So I went to Harvard University, graduated 2019. This is pretty easy if you have my LinkedIn. If you don't have my LinkedIn, you can still get it via Google. And then the last one, which is the hardest by far, is finding my date of birth. Okay. Finding my date of birth is tough. It's on my Twitter and you can like Google it. It's, we're going to say 1997 and it'll be good. Let's see how it does. So we're going to start with Claude 4.5 Haiku. I'm going to go over here. I'm just going to type in my email address, ibby@cotera.co. And let's make this, let me actually walk you through the prompt really fast. Enriching a person, you have access to tools. You must find all this information. All I'm going to give the LLM is my email address. And these are the tools that it has access to. It can use Apollo. So Apollo is like an enrichment tool for people that don't know. You give it one piece of information that you know about a person and it can find the rest. LinkedIn. The only thing that Apollo has about me, by the way, is like my LinkedIn information. You can then go visit their LinkedIn profile for the person that you find. Twitter. So you can go to my Twitter profile if it has my username and it can get my posts. Instagram, same exact thing. It can find my profile, get information, get my posts, and get the post detail. It can use Google, obviously, and it can get today's date. And it has to return the data in this format. So let's get started. We'll start with Claude Haiku. We'll give it ibby@cotera.co. And we'll see what we see. Okay, so it's going to start. Let me open this up a little bit. Okay, it's already found some information about me. It's making some assumptions on my Twitter profile. But it needs the correct username, Harvard University. Okay, so let's see how it does. So it's found my Instagram and it has found a company Twitter account. It's found my okay, so cool. It like did everything. I found the wrong Twitter account and it didn't try to find a new one. Readily not found in the search, which makes sense. My Twitter is not the first thing that comes up when you Google me. LinkedIn URL, Instagram URLs, it found this is not my account. Public account with 8 posts. Yep, that's the correct one. Bachelor's. Yep. Cool. So I got this information. It was not able to get my date of birth, which is fair because it didn't find my Twitter, which is the easiest way of doing it. So Instagram, so that's 1 point. Got the right information, got my LinkedIn URL, and got my college. So we can go over here, find my LinkedIn, find my Instagram, found where I went to college. All right, cool. So that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and figure out how much it cost. Okay, so we used about 45,000 tokens. It made a lot of mistakes and it was doing a bunch of searching. So it like makes a ton of sense. Alpha token. So it cost us about 5 cents, which is pretty good. So 5 cents to find 3 items of information. It's not terrible. I've got high hopes for Claude 4.5 Sonnet. So let's see what happens. So let's go over here. Let's make a new chat. Let's switch it to Claude 4.5 Sonnet and let's run the exact same data. Let's see what happens. I'm going to skip a little bit around this one. Okay, so this is pretty interesting. I was born November 25th. Let me get his tweets to find information. Let me work out the year based on the graduation info. So it's actually going the right way, which is great. So it found everything. It found LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, college, date of birth, latest tweet likes, and latest post subject. So that's pretty good. It got everything and it formatted it correctly. Great work so far, Sonnet. And we're running into, let's see how much it costs. So it cost us about 19 cents to get everything. So about 4 times more, but we got all of the data. It used a lot of input tokens, obviously, trying to make a bunch of searches, but it was a lot more successful with using those tokens. So great work, Sonnet. Let's move on to Opus. Let's see how that does. I assume that it will also be able to get it. All right, let's run it. Let's see how it goes. Interesting. So Opus did it worse. It didn't actually think about my graduation year like Sonnet did. And that's actually really interesting considering it's a newer model and it's supposed to be smarter than the other one. So that's actually a pretty big shock to me. It did everything else correctly, but honestly, it was not able to find my date of birth. So it's only a 4 out of 5 and it cost a lot more. So it cost twice as much because it used more tokens and had slightly more output tokens because it had to make more API calls. So that's pretty crazy, actually. It wasn't able to do that reasoning thing because it has all of the data to be able to do it the right way, but it must be tuned in a way that doesn't make assumptions. Crazy, but yeah, that's that. Okay, let's try Gemini 3 Flash. This is the new one that comes directly from Google and the Gemini team. I wonder if this is going to be any better. The thing that's going to be interesting about this is it doesn't talk to you. It literally just makes a crap ton of API calls. It also isn't always the best at making tool calls. So let's see how it does. Okay. It uses the wrong name sometimes, which I don't really know how to force it to use the right one, but we'll see. It also found my Twitter profile, I think, just by, oh no, I guess it must have, it either made the assumption from the web or something else. So this is actually working pretty fast so far, but we'll see. Okay, cool. Oh, interesting. This is really good. It made based on his graduation year of 2019, he was likely born in 1996. Good. It did it correctly. This is pretty interesting. It says retweet of a podcast episode by SAS Club. So it's technically a retweet. The other ones used an actual tweet, but that's true. It doesn't actually have any likes on it. Sad, but really solid showing from Gemini Flash. Let's see how much it costs. Okay, so this is really impressive. It used the same amount of tokens, roughly, as 4.5 Opus, but it's a 10th the cost, and it was able to do the exact same thing. It was a 4th the cost of Claude 4.5 Sonnet, and it was also able to do the exact same amount of work, which honestly, pretty freaking impressive from the team over at Google. Let's see how Gemini 3 Pro does. Should be able to do it, right? Right? So shocking. No, it didn't work. It only got 2 things. It got my college and it got this one. So it basically really interesting. It got our company stuff, but those aren't my personal accounts, which I don't really understand why, because Gemini Flash, which is a worse model and is cheaper, was able to do it. So crazy. Only 2, and it used a shit ton of tokens. If you go up this, it's making a lot of calls. So let's see. Shocker. It used 239,000 input tokens and 2,055 output tokens, which is actually kind of bananas. It cost 50 cents to do that, and it was not very good. Let's try GPT-5 Nano. Okay, so we're going to rule over the GPT series. We're going to start using reasoning tokens. GPT 5.2 does not have reasoning turned on because we didn't think that was going to be necessarily that fair. And so let's take a look. Let's take a look. So I'm going to go here. GPT-5, Nano. Let's start with Nano. We're starting with Nano. Okay. All right, let's see. It's going to start. It's starting thinking. Going to use reasoning tokens. Let's see where we get. Starting pretty well. It's using the included tools. Put my info in. Let's see. Interesting. It got the wrong college name, but I got my LinkedIn, I got my Instagram, and I got the Instagram data, which is pretty interesting. So I got a 2 out of 5. Okay, let's see how it did. It did not successfully find where I went to college. It actually did pull up my LinkedIn, but for some weird reason, it thought I went to Columbia. I did a night class there for a while. I taught a night class there for a while. So got 2 out of 5. Okay. I mean, it costs a fraction of a cent, about 1/4 of a cent to be able to do this. So not bad. Haiku, yeah, it's It's done the worst so far, but well, actually, no, Gemini 3 Pro also got 2 out of 5. About the same, but at a fraction of the cost, literally not 1/100th, 1/200th of the cost, which is crazy. Okay, so let's switch to GPT-5 Mini. Okay, so this is actually pretty interesting. It was able to find everything. It didn't find my birthday. So it's found everything besides my birthday, which, it has my Twitter account and it was able to get the number of tweets. So I'm confused as to why it didn't at least guess my month and day, but it got everything else. So good showing from GPT-5 Mini. So we'll go here, boom, 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 and let's see how much it cost. So it cost us about 2 cents. It was able to get 4 out of 5 and use 70,000 input tokens and 590 output tokens. All right, so let's finish off with the big boy, GPT 5.2. This doesn't have reasoning turned on, so let's see how it does. All right, so crazy. It did worse, which is funny. It didn't find the right Twitter account. It was twitter.com/ibby, which is not my Twitter account. I tried buying it before. It did not work. Instagram it found, Harvard it found, and LinkedIn it found. So crazy, but it only did LinkedIn, Instagram, didn't find my date of birth. So it did worse than Mini, which is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive to do worse. Let's see how much it cost. So still 3 times the cost of Mini, but it wasn't able to do nearly as much. Mini probably should have been able to surmise my information because it actually found my right Twitter account. So it's crazy that it didn't even try to guess. So yeah, so this is what we're looking at. This is what we're sitting through. So the clear winners here are 4.5 Sonnet, the surprise, and Gemini 3 Flash. This is the surprise because it's like very, very cheap and I was able to do it really well. I think, honestly, we're going to do a video soon. I've mentioned this in the other two where we kind of talk about nano and better prompting because like the prompt is bad. Like I've said this before in our videos, but we try to make it so we give everything kind of an even playing field. It's like the raw power of the model and what it's able to like, where it takes risks and what it chooses to do. So we try to give it minimal information as possible. So yeah, let's take a look at the overall leaderboard now. So 4.5 Opus is in the lead, which makes a ton of sense. The second up is Gemini 3 Flash, followed by 3.5 Sonnet, except for 3 Flash is a lot cheaper, so it ranks a little bit higher. It's been able to accomplish the same amount of tasks as 4.5 Sonnet, but for basically half the cost. Claude 4.5 Opus, still the best one, which makes a ton of sense. We're big fans of the Claude models here at Cotera. GPT 5 Nano at the bottom, I think that we can actually make it go back up and get it to like these mid-range ones with just a little bit more work. GPT-5 Mini definitely still the best value for money. It's cost us a total of 4 cents across everything, and it's been able to do approximately 2/3 of the tasks that we set its way. So yeah, great. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you want me to test if you want us to add different benchmarks, and we'll go from there. Thanks so much.